2019's been an eventful year for anime to say the least. Real-world circumstances aside, I'd say the year's been a strong one as far as exciting and thought-inducing shows go. These shows help spice up the year in addition to the plethora of sequels we have for legacy shows like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, and Sword Art Online. Now, onto the meat of the video. Let's dive in to take a look at the top non-sequels of the year.
世界が君の小さな肩に乗っているのが僕に
Happiness of the many versus happiness of a few. What will you choose? Sounds like something straight out of Fate Zero, but Weathering with You, the latest sensation by Makoto Shinkai, makes us ponder the same question all over again. Set in a not-so-distant future Tokyo besieged with rain, Weathering with You stars Hodaka, a runaway looking to find a bright future in the bustling metropolis. Alas, making a livelihood in Tokyo's as tough as the rumors say. Along the way, he hears of the legendary Weather Girl, one who's rumored to have the ability to stop the downpour across Tokyo. As fate would have it, he's the lucky guy who meets the urban legend. Turns out that this girl holds the key to Tokyo's salvation, but at what cost? When the fated time comes, Hodaka must make a painful choice. Will he choose his happiness or the salvation of the city? Blessed with Shinkai's signature narrative beats and some of the best cinematography and art in 2019, Weathering with You's a proven winner you shouldn't miss.
なりたい
For our next entry, let's welcome some up-and-comers ready to take the music world by storm in Carolyn Tuesday. Set in Mars, Carolyn Tuesday puts two titular characters with one another. With different backgrounds, they come together to pursue their passion of music. Now that's easier said than done. After all, they're up against the products of technology as AIs dominate the music world. However, it's unwise to underestimate the human heart and will. Will the two of them have what it takes to let their sound resonate throughout the universe? A charming mixed match between music, drama, and sci-fi, Carolyn Tuesday truly excels in world building in my opinion. The world's intriguing and bright and warms everyone up to the engaging characters looking to make it big. I think the characterization starts off promising but slows down towards the end of the run, but by that time, you're so immersed in the duo's journey, it does keep you watching till the end. Carolyn Tuesday's a nice story of human creativity and connectivity. It's a budding story of expression and at some points, a truly inspiring one.
兄貴
In addition to being the year of sequels, I'd say 2019's the year of remakes too. For me, one of the better ones, Dora Rose, deserves to make it to the list. Dora Rose, the story of Hyakimaru, a ronin born without body parts due to an ancient demon pact. With each demon defeated, Hyakimaru regains a body part, and with Dororo, an orphan he's met on his journey, Hyakimaru continues his quest to regain what's truly his. Among remakes, Dora Rose certainly had the most promising premise, and in my opinion, it delivered on its promise of an epic adventure of revenge. The series takes viewers through a dark, fantastical journey that blends the old and modern times. I'd say the filler probably puts my score for the show down a notch, but I didn't regret watching it. If you're planning to watch a remake as the year ends, make sure to add Dororo to your list. One of the biggest surprises in the last season, Beastars proves to be a possible sleeper hit. Don't let first impressions fool you. For most people, Beastars may seem like outright furry bait or pandering at first, and in some ways, I agree, as it does seem like that. However, by this time, we should be wise enough not to let first impressions do all the judging for us. I dare say it's one of the more underrated anime of the season, but that's only because it's overshadowed by the billions of sequels to popular series that ran alongside it. The art style and animation ought to grow on you over time, while the interesting characters actually go through a lot of nice development. All the while, nice parallels and social commentary exist, and you can really see that Beastars is a show that's crafted with love and effort by the people involved. Something to keep an eye out for if you want a unique experience in 2019.
なんだなんで宇宙にいるんだ
Who doesn't like a good old space adventure story? Of course, what I'm referring to is the story of Astra lost in space as far as the community is concerned. Starting without much traction, the series eventually endeared itself to the hearts of millions of anime fans with its masterful developments and plot twist after twist. What seemed to at first be a cheap anime knockoff of Lost turned out to be one of the most underrated gems of the season. Honestly speaking, compared to its contemporaries, Astra Lost in Space doesn't provide any adrenaline-pumping scenes and segments, but it more than makes up for it in terms of developing and fleshing out its characters. It may not be the space-orientated action series that some people are looking for, but Astra Lost in Space is an example of space drama done right. Sci-fi lovers, here's my pick for you in 2019. They got us. They made us learn science by watching anime. Dr. Stone, one of Shonen Jump's biggest contributions this year, offers us some cool perspectives given its realistic way of tackling the main premise, creation of a brand new world. Now, you know what to do whenever one of those people tells you can't learn anything good when watching anime. You see, in a world where two boys are pretty much the only survivors of a catastrophic disaster, they get assigned a Herculean task, breathing new life into a world of stone. Beautiful visuals, excellent acting, and an intriguing premise with an air of mystery. There's a lot to like about Dr. Stone. I personally feel it's a shame that something this good isn't Shonen Jump's biggest hit this year. Then again, being second to arguably the biggest SJ phenomenon this decade's not a bad place to be in at all.
ファンタジーに科学で勝ってやんぞ。そそるぜ、これは。
全集中、水の呼吸。
Is it any surprise that this next entry wouldn't make it to the best anime of 2019 list? Yep, it's about time we tackle Demon Slayer. Make no mistake, 2019's Demon Slayer's year. In the early parts of the year, I didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. Thanks to Ufotable's amazing production crew, a cast of interesting characters who have chemistry with one another, and a quick and simple narrative style that's easy to follow, Demon Slayer has arguably become the biggest anime sensation of 2019. I don't think you need much of an introduction to this show, with a story about Tanjiro's quest to restore his sister's humanity making so many waves all over the internet. Watch for the pretty visuals and music, then stay for the gripping narrative, the enjoyable characters, and the exciting battles that keep coming non-stop. With a movie and an inevitable second season looming over the horizon, things are only going to get bigger and better for Demon Slayer. Next up on the list is probably my favorite comedy anime of the year, Kaguya Sama. As the subtitle goes, love is war, and a very complicated one at that. Need I say more? Shuchin Academy's two aces find each other a formidable nemesis. Despite developing feelings for each other, Mayuki and Kaguya find themselves in a pickle. After all, neither's willing to confess their feelings to one another, and according to them, the first one who does loses. When two of the biggest egos in the school put their honor on the line, one has to wonder the lengths they'd go to in order to win this battle of pride. Love is indeed a battlefield, and it's probably the most precarious one of them all. This wacky story of lovers refusing to confess to each other's never been this funny and entertaining. In my opinion, Kaguya Sama's arguably one of the best school comedy anime, and it's not hard to see why.
Love is war.
Not topping the list, but nevertheless making a strong case for itself, is The Promised Neverland. Count on one of the more unorthodox Shonen Jump titles to make it this high on the list. Foregoing the usual superpowers and high-octane action, The Promised Neverland instead goes the route of Death Note and the more methodical shows in the genre. The Promised Neverland provides a complete package fit for one that revolves around the story of kids fighting for freedom from the human farm known as Gracefield House. The show's gripping, tense, and suspenseful. Thanks to various animation techniques and superb sound direction, as well as the abundance of twists, the anime grabs the viewer and sends them into a thriller that's intense and nerve-wracking at every corner. Enjoying its success off the heels of an excellent run on top of a lot of people's anime charts thanks to a cathartic ending to the arc, a second season is on its way, so make sure you look out for it. Yes, the much-hyped and awaited Vinland Saga stands tall as the #1 non-sequel in 2019. Sure, it didn't blow up like Demon Slayer, but Vinland Saga, an amazing story of Vikings and a boy's quest for revenge, more than deserves its crown of being the best non-sequel of 2019. Instead of being a violent revenge story you'd expect from the premise, Vinland Saga's more than that. It's a graphic story about the realities of war, sprinkled with historical angles that help you appreciate the era. Witch Studios' stunning animation and the world building help drop viewers into this epic tale of revenge and fantasy. In addition to the flashiness that is the production, Vinland Saga also has great substance with its character development, steadily paced from episode to episode. I'd say it's a crying shame that while Vinland Saga had hype, it was never the talk of the town. Seriously, Vinland Saga's criminally underappreciated for what it brings to the table. It's the complete package, and if you picked up a show this year from what I recommend, this is it. This is what peak anime in 2019 looks like. Now, with the year just about wrapping up, these are my recommendations for non-sequels this 2019. That's it for now. I'd love to see you next time. For more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell button so you're first in line for new ViniiTube content.